Hey guys, I told you yesterday I was going to get ahead and give you a little frog tip, and I figured I'd do that now for you. And basically, so one of my favorite frogs all time is the spro popping frog. You know, we're out there, everybody has their own favorite frog. For me, I like the popping frog. It displaces a lot more water. It seems like you can skip it a little bit better, and it just throws a little bit more of a disturbance on top of the water. But one of the biggest things about it is with the stock hook, your hookup ratio isn't that great. You know, a lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll maybe bend the hooks out a little bit, but some guys, and including myself, actually replace that hook. So here I'm going to show you. This here is the stock popping frog. It's got the stock hook in it, and it's actually a size 3/0. And I'm going to get ahead and I'm going to show you the one that I went ahead and replaced, and I'm going to show you the difference. But this one here, you can see how the hook itself actually sticks off of the bait. It's a size number 4/0. So you can see the difference when I put them side by side. It's just a much beefier hook. I joke around all the time with my buddies or my marshals whenever they're with me. Whenever I hook them on that, I call it the gaff. You know, they just simply do not come off. It's not going to be quite as weedless. So if you're fishing around a lot of rural heavy vegetation and around some bushes, a lot of times, you know, it might be a little frustrating because you're going to get it hung up a little bit. But when it comes down to hookup ratio, the hookup ratio goes through the roof whenever you're throwing this. So it's a little bit confusing to rig up, and I'm going to get ahead and I'm going to show you exactly how that's done. And so you guys can maybe try it out and give it a try, because we're starting to approach that time of year throughout the whole country to where the frog is really going to become important. So the biggest thing is here, this one here I've thrown it a little bit. It's one that I'll throw in practice. So you can see it's chewed up pretty good. But the first thing you want to do whenever you have this frog is you want to tie it on braided line. You know, right now I have this on my setup that I always throw it on. This is just Berkeley professional grade 50-pound. A lot of guys will throw it on 65, but the 50-pound line will actually give the bait a little bit more action. So I always throw it on 50, casts a little bit better, also gives the bait more action. But the first thing you got to do is you got to tie it to the braided line, and you're going to see why. So you basically turn the frog upside down, you hold on to the hook, and you actually pull that frog over it. Turn it upside down. Now you can see the hook's upside down, and you want to get ahead and pull it out real slow to get it to come over that braided line. So now the frog is actually fished through that line. It's all the way up there. It's out of the way. Now you're going to see there's a welded swivel on there, and all you got to do is you got to split those legs and get ahead, slide that swivel out, and now that's your standard 3/0 hook. Now sometimes it can be a little bit tough because the barbs are pretty long on these hooks. Sometimes you actually need to bend that barb down a little bit. Just bend it down a little bit before I make it come over the hook. It's over the hook, and now you're going to see the size difference. So that's the hook that I just took out of the frog, and this is the hook that I'm actually going to put in the frog. So I mean, you can see I mean, night and day. I mean, it's one size bigger. It's got a little bit more bite to it. It's a little bit beefier, and it's what I throw whenever I'm in a tournament situation. So same thing here. All you do is you get ahead and you put it onto that clip, open up the hook, slide it all the way up again, slide the frog back onto the line. Now here you're just going to get, just like as you're tying a knot, you just want to get ahead, lubricate it a little bit, and then you pull that braided line and that hook up through the frog. Let it come up, and that right there is my frog setup. And you can see the hook stick out away from the bait. Your hookup ratio is gonna go up tremendously. It's a beefier hook. You might get a little frustrated throwing it, I'm not gonna lie, but when it comes down to hookup ratio, it goes way up. And the frog setup that I like to throw is a 7'3" heavy action Fantastices Premier. I throw it on fast gear ratio reel. This is a Abu Garcia ALX 8-to-1 gear ratio reel, 50-pound professional grade braided line, and that's my frog tip. I hope you guys like it. Catch more fish on a frog this spring.